Alright, Savage Slayers. New event time. If you can't tell, you guys are all messaging like crazy right now. Okay. So, Green Slayer event. This will be Christmas orientated. We'll go over the deck and go over some of the ideas that I've already figured out. First off, we'll start with the event support card. This is going to be spirit based. If anyone has any green spirit based weapons, some of you old timers that have been playing for a while, now's the time to use them. Spirit is not the intensity, Slayer is the intensity. At this point in time, I do not know if the Blue Slayer relics from the last Blue Slayer event will boost any intensity. I have every intentions of finding out, but it's too early to tell right now. I'm going to go ahead and say probably not, but I'm going to give it a try anyways. So this is your healer. This is going to create 3 Earth Gems and heal for 500% hero recovery every 3 turns. So this is definitely going to be a card that you're going to want to have. Of course, this is also going to be the free card that you get. Again, just like the other 2 events that we've had, the Slayer water intensity and the Commander dark intensity, everything is times 10 instead of the standard times 2. Passive intensity on this hero will be increasing your intensity by 4. By the time this card maxes out to 6, I'm going to say this thing's probably going to be, it's probably going to be 10. Counter skill, it's going to dispel judgment. That's a nasty little buff to have. So definitely going to want to have this card since it's the free card. All you got to do is just get enough of the what looks like mistletoe. Yep. Enough mistletoe, boom, you automatically going to get this card. Next, we'll move on to the event card. The event card creates 2 Earth Gem 1s and attacks up to 60,000% of attack, ignoring defense, at the rate of 15,000 increase per 100 intensity. Has a maximum value of 300 intensity. As you can tell, this is going to dispel chaos. Chaos just really jumbles everything up and gives you a headache. It's not going to hurt you, just kind of pisses you off a little bit. This was a real big problem I was having in the last event. I was not able to dispel chaos, and while I was able to defeat the bosses, it was definitely driving me insane. So this is a card that you will probably want because it's going to create power gems. We'll go ahead and look at this card completely maxed out because I already have it at 6 stars. So at 6 stars, this little lady is going to do 200,000% of attack at a rate of increasing 50,000 per 100 intensity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a nuke deck. For those of you who've been around a while, you know what a nuke deck is. We've had a couple of them. They put out a tremendous amount of power. So, no passive skill, just going to create power gems and attack for 2,000%. Go back to here. Here's where the fun comes in. So let's look at the ultra rare. Yeah, so the ultra rare will create 2 power gem 2s and increase Slayer attack for 30% for 2 turns at an increased rate of 7.5% plus an additional 7.75% or 7.5% per 100 Earth Slayer intensity with a maximum value of 300%. I would expect to see this creating 4 to 6 Earth Power Gem 2s when it's maxed out. It's a 5. 5. So we're going to say this is going to create 4 Earth Power Gem 2s, 3 or 4. And it's probably going to increase 40% for 2 turns. And I'm going to say it's going to probably go up to a rate of 10% plus an additional 10%. This is where some of us are going to have problems and some of us will not. For those of you who get this card, congratulations. For those of you who don't, we're going to have issues. Slazy, you and I are going to be able to survive this. Counter skill, Fear. While this particular counter does not cause you any pain, what it does do is it randomly will reset your hero's power meters. Literally randomly. So if you were to try and launch all of your cards at once, this will make it so it will never happen. Slazy, you and I will survive this for one reason. I have not checked everyone else's deck, but Slazy, you and I both have this card. He's a 5-time Slayer from the last Slayer green deck. And guess what he does? He dispels Fear 9. So not only are we going to get the Slayer intensity, but he's also going to create 5 Earth Gem 2s. Plus, if there's already 4 more Earth Gem 4s on the board, he's going to create 5 more. Plus, he's going to heal us. For those of you who have this card, I would recommend that you equip this one. These decks are designed to bring past event cards back into play. This is one of them that I would definitely be bringing back into play. He is a Slayer, so when the Relic comes out, he will be getting the Slayer intensity boost off of the Relic. I can confirm that by doing this right here. As you see, I have all Slayers, and when you go to the information screen, the Ice Tech Shredder actually gives all damage output to everybody on the team because they're all Slayers. So with that being said, any Slayer you put on the team when we get that Relic will be boosted. So Fear is going to be a real problem for some people. Like I said, if you get this card, congratulations. Use this card wisely and be glad you got it. If you didn't, you're going to struggle with whatever boss is putting out Fear. And if you happen to have that giant, I recommend highly you equip him. Because you're going to want not only his ability to create power gems, because it's going to create power gems about the same as what this is, if not better, but it's going to dispel Fear even better than this one. Last but not least, we have our Master Collection card. So he's going to create 3 Earth Gem 2s, beginning an Earth Parry 4 for 1 turn. Earth Parry 4, if you hit while parrying, it will create 3 Earth Power Gems 4. It will cost you 25% of your intensity. So as you're building up intensity, you're actually going to lose it by using this card. To be honest with you guys, I'm not 100% for sure that I'm going to be really going after this card very hard. This may be one of them that if I get him, I get him. And if I don't, I don't. I'm not 100% for sure yet. I do know that by creating the Power Gem 4s and using the Giant, creating more Power Gems, that this deck will probably be able to produce a very, very high damage output. And so I'd probably be stupid not for going after him. His counter is Alkari. Alkari really isn't that big of a deal. It just kind of speeds everything up and doesn't give you as much time to do matches. Usually the Master Collection card, and I use this term loosely, usually the Master Collection card does not have a debuff that's used in the event. Now I say that in the last event, and we had a Ultra Kill boss. Granted that that's a special boss that actually required Gem Silence to be debuffed, and only the Master Collection card could debuff that. I know Slazy was having a lot of problems with the Jade Twins in that event, and that's because the Master Collection card was the debuff for that. I don't know if that's going to be an issue in this event or not. There's only one way to find out, and that's to play the event. With that being said, I'm really curious to see how some of this is going to play out. This is going to have a massive high intensity payout and high damage dealing between that and the event card. Having more than one of these event cards with the ability to put out that much nuke damage and only a 3-turn cooldown might be very, very wise. I know that I am actually in the running next if I was to buy the next tier that I'm a guaranteed a 5-1, so I have not decided what I'm doing yet. I'm going to hold off right now and see what I want to do later. So that's what I found out so far. The other card I would recommend is if you don't have the Giant, but you still have the event card from them. While he may not dispel fear, he does create power gems. He's another one that I would seriously consider putting on your team just so he can help create power gems. This may be another one of those events where you want to have multiple deck setups and mix and match for different boss types and just kind of flip through. I know I had 3 different decks for the last event just to kind of help me with different types of bosses. This may be another good one to try it on. If anyone has any questions, by all means, do not hesitate to ask. I will be more than happy to answer anyone's questions to the best of my ability. But as of right now, that is exactly what I am seeing for this event. So I wish everyone the best of luck.